Come inside the tent where it's nice and warm. Take a seat, and
we'll get the show on the road here in just a minute.
Should I record it?
Yes, sir.
I do need to take it off to show. Yeah. Oh, you're fine. I am. I sure am.
Oh, did you did?
No.
Okay, let's go.
Right. Well, welcome everybody to our sort of our inauguration of our Rand Morgan elevated storage tank. I'm Mike Murphy. I'm the Chief Operations Officer here at Corpus Christi, and thank you all for coming today to celebrate this great achievement. Without any further ado, because it's cold and windy, I'm going to introduce the Honorable Mayor Paulette Buhari.
Thank you. Okay, great. Great, thank you very much. And yes, it is a little chilly, which we love, and we welcome this beautiful weather. So I'm Mayor Paulette Buhari. I'd like to welcome you all here. Thank you for being here. I want to point out that we have Councilman District 1, Billy Lerma, with us today. Billy, thank you for being here. And I know we have at-large Councilman Mike Pesley with us in spirit somewhere. I'm sure something came up, but I know he really wanted to be here. So we'll say he's here with us in spirit. So today is the day, as you all know, that we've been waiting for quite some time to celebrate this moment. The 750,000-gallon water tower that you see here is one of 6 in the city, all of which are essential in the distribution of water throughout this entire community. And we all know the importance of water. So these water towers are necessary and they're critical, especially in times of drought, hurricanes, fires, anything of that sort. They also enable us to meet the Texas Commission Environmental Quality's requirement of sufficient elevated water storage. So this is another critical step in providing quality water to our residents. The City of Corpus Christi is the water producer, the water planner, the water distributor for Corpus Christi, for the community, for 500,000 people in our area, and we don't take that lightly. This today is another milestone in continuing to hold that title. So I want to thank Chief Operations Officer Mike Murphy and the Corpus Christi Water Team, along with our contractor, Associated Construction Partners Ltd., consultant engineer CP&Y, and the city's engineering department for their outstanding work in getting this tower operational and online. And so with that, I'd like to thank you again for being here, and I'd like to invite City Manager Peter Zanoni to come forward to say a few words.
Great. Good morning, everybody. As the mayor said, I'm City Manager Peter Zanoni, and we're glad to be here this morning. This backdrop is a perfect one to talk what we want to talk about today, which is investing in our infrastructure, in particular our water infrastructure. I was just telling somebody last night at KEDT's 50th anniversary that this city, with Mayor Guajardo, Councilman Lerma, and the entire council's leadership, are finally reinvesting in ourselves, in our infrastructure. They asked me, what are you working on as city manager? What's the most important thing? And I said it's reversing decades of neglect, of neglectful underspending and not paying attention to our infrastructure. So today we're here, we're in front of a brand new water tower that was built some years ago, but it wasn't in operation because it wasn't sufficiently fitted to run water through our system. So with the mayor and council's leadership and funding, we spent over $5 million with this water tower and one on Holly to retrofit it with a pressure reducing valve. And I think you can see it behind me. We'll see it when we do the ribbon cutting to finally bring this water tower into operation. It's been built and sitting here for several years not being utilized, and Councilman Lerma knows that. He's glad that he's here today. This is in City Council District 1. This water tower is in service right now, right? I don't hear any water, that's not like, is it? It's in service, right. And Councilman Lerma's home in District 1 is most likely getting water now through this water tower. So this is a great example of what we're so very proud of as staff, that we have a mayor and a city council like Councilman Lerma who are dedicated to investing in our water, wastewater, and other infrastructure. We had, as you may know, we just finished the budget deliberations with the council this summer. Our fiscal year began October 1, and we had more work sessions this time around than in the 4 budgets that I've done with the city council, but we had a very robust conversation with the city council. Some members of council were a little bit hesitant on funding an aggressive and robust water and wastewater program, but in the end they all agreed that this is very important for our community to invest in our infrastructure so that we can, one, have a high quality of life for the folks that live here today, but more importantly that we can grow as a region, grow as a city, grow as a region. Councilman Lerma and I have talked about that quite a bit, as has the mayor. Councilman Lerma's grandchildren want to be here, want to stay here. We can only do that though when we have solid water infrastructure and other infrastructure. So today is a great moment to celebrate that, and a perfect backdrop of a beautiful water tower. Some people don't think they are, but a beautiful water tower which shows the commitment of the mayor and city council members, especially city council member Lerma, whose district we're in today. So with that, we are going to call Councilman Lerma up to say some comments as well. Councilman Lerma?
First of all, I want to say it's a beautiful day. I love this weather. You know, people are wearing jackets. I'm a little surprised you guys are wearing jackets. This is South Texas weather. We enjoy this kind of weather out here. You know, this is a project that's been here, sitting here for quite a while, a couple of years. You know, Mike Murphy came on board and we all discussed it with the mayor and the city manager that why aren't these online? Well, when they explained to us that when they put them online, it blew out every water pipe that you could think of in some of the areas. So what is it that we needed through the leadership of Peter and the mayor and Mike Murphy? Well, we needed valves to gradually turn these things on so they can flow and get a certain percentages. I don't know what the percentage is, Mike, that we need to be at, you know, for the EPA, for them to tell us that the flow is a good flow going through our pipes. But, you know, this is telling you we're not doing this for us. It's got nothing to do for us. We've lived here, we've enjoyed our lives. This is for your grandchildren, their grandchildren. We're looking at the future. We need to have a good infrastructure for the future of Corpus Christi. We want us to grow, and you can't grow unless you establish a good infrastructure. You know, there were some people asking, well, what do you mean infrastructure? I said, well, we mean all your utilities underground. They have to be modernized. You know, we have great technology out there. And this behind me is going to show that we are improving our infrastructure. We want to look at 10, 15 years down the road, you know, but it's important that the city of Corpus Christi continue to maintain these kind of facilities. Before we just built things, just left them there and just let them just keep going. Now we have maintenance programs. There's a process for us to be able to continue to maintain to give us 20, 30, 40 years down the road. That's another important aspect of all these kind of facilities. But you know, I want to thank you all for coming out today. I want to thank the mayor, because with her leadership, we're going to continue to move this city forward, you know, and with the leadership of Peter and our directors that are out here, that is important, you know. And I just say enjoy the weather and thank y'all for coming out. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all. I don't see Councilman Pusley, so we're going to go ahead and move forward with that. Right. So again, thank you all for coming out. Just a few things about this particular project. When I first arrived here, and I guess one of my first meetings with Peter, he'd mentioned this tower and the one over on Holly Road, that they're constructed, they're beautiful, but they're empty. And you know, one conversation led to another, and we came up with an idea. I mean, it was an idea that we worked with the engineering firm on, and in our team. And I want to recognize some of the people here, specifically that worked on this. And Nick Winkleman, stand up. I mean, Nick was yeah. You're don't be so shy, but Nick was the lead engineer for the City of Corpus Christi on this project. And we had an idea, and this actual tank was not supposed to be online for a couple more months now. But, you know, working together and coming up with some ideas and some creative thinking, we said, well, there's got to be a better way. We can't continue to have these water towers just sitting empty. And so we came up with a creative idea. Well, what about if we buy the materials and have everything ready, and once we have an engineer or a contractor on board, then they can just install it and put it together like a jigsaw puzzle. And a lot of people told us that that's not how you do things. That's kind of a crazy way to do it. We said, well, let's try it. And here we are. This tank has actually been in operation for about 3 months now, Peter. So yeah, it's just running, and it's doing a great job, and it's serving the Annaville area, which is a great thing. This area desperately needs this additional water, and it's not only just for drinking water, but it's also for fire protection. So again, I want to thank the engineering services that helped us with this project. Obviously, our Corpus Christi water team. Raise your hand, everybody here from Corpus Christi Water. We're all proud of this project, right? This was a big deal for us. And so there's a lot of things happening, and I want to introduce our two new directors, Wes Nebgen. There's Wes, new director, and Drew Molly, who just started about a month ago now. So we got a lot of big things happening right now in water utilities. And then also ACP and CP&Y, our engineering firms. You guys stand up, take a bow. This was a great project. So thank you all for helping us. And they had to put up with us and our crazy ideas that we came and said, well, why don't we try it this way? And they said, well, not only can we do that, let's use it this way and do that maybe a better way. So thank you everyone. Thank you everyone that worked so hard on getting this tower ready to go. And our next step is this, and I was telling Peter as we were walking up, can you see the CCW logo on this water tank? And so we do have a contractor, and now we're just negotiating final price, and we're going to start putting our logos on all of our water towers, this being one of the first. So hopefully you'll see that within the next few months. So with that said, I know everybody's cold and it's windy and all that, so let's do some ribbon cutting, right?
Yeah. Wes on this side.
Nick, where's Nick?
Back there too. Can we get over here? It's good.
Ready?
All right, everyone.
Are we doing the countdown?
Is that everybody? Okay, great.